Hey guys, this is Breach, and we are back with the second to last episode of Dragon Warrior 1. Now, after you get your upgrades there in Cantlin, you're going to want to go back to that town that I told you you didn't want to go to. So, we stayed at the inn to recover all our MP, and we have our Heal More spell now, so we're going to stand a bit better of a chance. And you'll notice we have 8,000 gold left over because we ended up fighting a bunch of stuff on the way here. But getting back there is pretty simple, pretty easy. I mean, you're just going to go the same route you came in at, and, the trip downhill is always a little bit quicker. But you still have to be careful and keep your HP up while you're fighting the Star Wyverns, the Dead Knights, the Dark Knights, all that nastiness in between there and Hawk's Nest is the name of the ruined town. Now, I can't remember if I said it or not in the last episode, but one of the NPCs will actually give you the hint that there is a piece of armor hidden in the ruined town. Erdrick's armor, or Loto, as is our version. Now, you always want to be careful coming up here, too. It's really easy to get caught coming around the mountains, and yeah, you're just going to get snagged on them if you're not paying attention. But enemies outside of town are going to be a little bit easier. Inside, it's going to be exactly the same as what you were running into there around Cantlin, which is not a bad place to level grind. But we come in here, and you're going to want to go counterclockwise around the town until you get to the shop on the eastern edge of town. Now, you're going to fight dragons, you're going to fight Star Wyverns, you're going to fight the Mad Knights, or whatever those were, Armed Knights, and they're going to mess you up. There's swamps here, and it's where you have the shop here and the swamps that you want to go. Like I said, you got dragons over here, and they're not to be trifled with. Well, I mean, at this point you can trifle with them, but I mean, you'll notice how much of our HP that did. And it's not the same dragon that you fought in the swamp cave there. Their HP is a little bit more, and their experience is a whole lot less. But in that second swamp tile, that's where the sadness lies. Now, the Axe Knight here, or Mad Knight, as he's called, will, one of his opening moves generally is to put you to sleep. So you're always going to start off with Stop Spell, because whenever you get put to sleep, you're dead. Just that simple. And we get a lucky crit against him, so the fight's not near as bad. But you inspect the grass behind there, and you get best armor in the game, the Loto armor. Now, I mean, it's only a 4 defense increase from our magic armor there, but the benefit to it is that you're going to heal with every single step that you take. Plus, it's got the step guard advantage. So you're not going to take damage from walking over the swamp tiles, the barrier tiles, anything like that. Which, is necessary once we get into the final dungeon. Now that we have that, we want to pick up the second to last piece. Well, the third piece of what we need to get the final item to get to the Dragon Lord's castle. Now, there's an NPC that'll tell you there's something special at 70 north, 40 west, or 40 east, whatever direction you, 40 west. That is your key, and why you're supposed to use the Laura's Love, Gwaelin's Love, Princess's Love, whatever item is in your game, to go and find this item that is hidden over here in the swamp. Remember last time we went to Cantlin, we skipped over the first bridge? This time we're going to want to cross it. And now that we have the Loto armor, this swamp over here, well, you can't see it because we got a battle. Thank you, Mr. Star Wyvern, for getting all up in the way. Oh, you're going to cast Heal More a whole bunch of times. Yeah, they're really obnoxious, and I don't so much mind Heal More, where they do that as their first attack. It's whenever they let you get damage in, and then attack you, and then do it. so that it more or less negates the battle on their side, but you've still taken damage. Really obnoxious. But with the Loto armor, like I said, we're gaining 1 HP per step. And since we have Step Guard, we can go through here without really worrying too much. But there we go, the Loto seal. Just lay in the swamp, because that's where, the seal of your ancestor should be. Now I toss the magic armor so that we can go ahead and pick it up. Like I said, inventory space is more as valuable as anything else in the game. And use the lore of 70 north, 40 west. The NPC gives you the clue, and that's how you're supposed to find this. But like I said, if you know where it's at, you don't need that item, you don't need to save the princess, so, that could make for some issues at the end of the game. Now, off-screen, getting back to the castle, because we just worked back there, filled up our MP, and I ground for a few levels. A few. I got us up to level 21 off-screen there. And we're going to go and trade in all these items that we've got. So, our checklist. You get the Sunstones from Charlock Castle. You go through that door, go to the outside stairwell at the southeast corner. You get the Shiny Harp, Garen's Tomb, all the way in the bottom. Go trade that in for the Rain Staff over by Cole. Sunstones, Rain Staff. We got the Loto Seal, hidden in the swamp down there. And you take all 3 of those items to the very southern tip of the Rimeldar Peninsula, and something magical will happen. And you'll see in just a second. We're going to go ahead and walk there, because, that's what this game's about, is walking and random battles and showing off just how big of a bad A we are at this point. We have the Fire Sword, we have the best shield, the best armor, and, as always, since I'm playing the game muted, I'm going to go ahead and use the Radiant spell in the cave. That's one thing I like about the later Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior games that, isn't really in this one. You don't have to worry about torches or Radiant. The caves are all lit up. So it's obnoxious, but I get why they did it in here. Gives you sort of that ambiance feel and, resource management. If you don't have any torches or MP with you, then you're going to be in a bad situation whenever that all comes crashing down around you. And nothing on the Rimeldar continent even poses a threat to us anymore. We're just storming through anything and everything in our path. Now, the max level for this game is 30, but you can comfortably beat the game at level 21 to 22. For this version. On the original NES, you could comfortably beat it at level 19. Now, I think the speedrun beats it at 17 right after you get heal more, because the final battle turns into just a war of attrition. Hit him, he hits you, you heal, hit him again, so on and so forth. And you have to have heal more to be able to recover what you're taking in. So, the speedrun will do it at 17. 18 is really where it becomes feasible, and 19 is where it becomes comfortable. And that's one of the things about this game that really stands apart from the other RPGs, is you really notice a difference between each level. You don't always notice that in other RPGs. Now, I talked over it there, but we just turned the Sunstone and the Rain Staff into the Rainbow Drop. Now, very convoluted on what you should do, but it's always said that when the sun and the rain come together, it will show you the way. Well, Charlock is up over there on its own little island, and there's one spot here at Rimeldar where there's a one-tile space of water in between there. So, we might as well go check that out. It's at the northwest of Rimeldar here. So conveniently, we don't have to really go anywhere else. It's going to be faster to walk there from here than to warp back to the castle, because we'd have to go through the swamp cave again. But this area kind of breaks away from the plots for the enemies. Like, before you could always tell you're cut off of which mountain range marks where they get stronger. You could see the definite demarcation. But over here, it just kind of goes out the window, and I think they coded the island itself, the plots there, or gave it its own special gerrymandered plot, so that you could have specific encounters on it. But on the island, you're going to get the same encounters we're getting outside of Cantlin, inside of Hawk's Nest. And we got desert, we got a 1 tile wide thing of water, and when sun and rain come together, it will show us the way, so let's go and use the rainbow drop and see what happens. And we get a rainbow road, which is going to be the name of this episode, Rainbow Road. I like it. I love me some Mario Kart. And of course, we get into an encounter on the bridge, because why not? And it's really just a straightforward path to the castle here, except for you got, enemies, all kinds of desert and hills, so that you have very high encounter rate on the way there, because, going through a final dungeon and then fighting the final boss, not hard enough. You gotta wear people down before they get there. That way they have to level grind up to a certain point to be comfortable and save enough MP to be able to fight the final boss. Yeah, makes sense. But with the Lodo armor, we're regaining, 1 HP per step, so we're more or less recovering anything that happens to us in battle. Now, we're inside Charlock, the Draco Ward's castle, and the Mad Knight that we just fought for the Lodo armor is a standard enemy. And like I said there, he'll lead off with sleep, try and put you to sleep every time. But, if you've got the levels, you've got the gear, shouldn't be too much of an issue. And here you're going to want to go clockwise. You can see 2 sets of stairs hidden behind doors. They're dead ends. One of the places where you can waste a key in one of the towns, and there's a sage hidden behind barriers, they will tell you that, there's a draft hidden behind the Draco Lord's throne. So, that's a clue to go check behind the throne, which we're going to do and find a staircase, and that's where the episode will end. So, thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow, we're going to have the finale. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Element Breach, and on Patreon as well, Element Breach. If you feel like I'm worth supporting, please do. Thank you for watching this, and stay tuned for the finale and our next episode coming up in our next series. Bye.